Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, look, I've said this several times, not just about the Iraqi dinar, but other currencies as well. When it comes to the Vietnam dong and Iraqi dinar, people keep waiting for this RI or an RV to happen. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I'm saying there are other things that we can look for that can help those currencies gain value against the US dollar. Oh man, I caught all kinds of crap. The US dollar is never going to die. The US dollar is never going to drop in value. Yes, it is. We're already seeing India and Russia now do trades without using the US dollar. We already know that China has also developed a new type of similar system to the SWIFT system, which I'm pretty sure it's the so-called QFS system, but a system that's supposed to rival SWIFT 2.0. They're tired of being manipulated by the United States. They're tired of being controlled by the United States. I had said before, there's going to come a day when people stop using the US dollar as the reserve dollar, and it would lose 40, 50, 60% of its power. And you would see other currencies rise up against the dollar. People are like, no, man, it's not going to happen. You don't know what you're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. It's already happening. We're seeing it happen now. So before we get started, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button because it helps us get past the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate that. A quick disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor, an accountant, nor an attorney. The advice that I give is freely and of my own opinion. Hey folks, just a quick reminder that back in 2008 and 9, a lot of people lost all of their retirement savings and their 401ks and IRAs because they did not own gold and silver. Yeah, that's right, gold and silver protects you from a market crash. So do yourself a favor, protect your retirement by purchasing gold and silver. You can go to moneymetals.com, reach out to them, and they will help you set yourself up to protect you and your family from having to start all over from scratch. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they will send along with your order a free half ounce of silver. So folks, do yourself a favor, head on over to moneymetals.com and protect you and your family from a market crash, as well as inflation. So head on over there now. You can actually own physical gold and silver. Go to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. And don't forget to use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y. If you spend more than $100, you will get a free half ounce of silver. For those of you looking for my address, there it is right here. And you guys know I have an alternative website where I post original content as well as other content that is banned from YouTube. It's $3 a month. All proceeds go to Finding Life's Purpose Foundation, and you have unlimited access. Be very careful of people out there trying to impersonate me. They're asking people to send them money. Don't fall for it. I will not ask you to go to WhatsApp, nor will I ask you to go to Telegram. And here's how you know if I'm the one responding to any of your comments. A person makes a comment. If I respond, you'll see a dark circle around my name. See that? From time to time, I will use material that is copywritten. Just so you know, I am exercising my fair use rights. And so I put this disclaimer on there just in case. So what do we have here? Is this possible? Vietnam dong increases unexpectedly against the US dollar. I wouldn't say it's unexpectedly. Remember, they've been manipulating the currency for quite some time and promised to fix things. So this shouldn't be a surprise. It says the Vietnam dong has appreciated by around 2% against the US dollar in the last 11 months of this year. It is now to be seen whether this trend will continue in the coming year or not. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say yeah, because we know with inflation and the purchasing power of the dollar dying and countries starting to look for other alternative methods in order to do trades, the dollar is dying. Now, I know some of you out there going, well, that's only 2%. Calm down. Blah, blah. The point is, it's starting to move and it's starting to become consistent. Little by little, the other currencies will start to gain on the dollar, and then eventually the dollar would just drop. It's going to happen. In November this year, the United States dollar climbed to a 16th month high when the U.S. announced its highest inflation rate in the last 30 years. At one point, the U.S. dollar index measured the dollar volatility with 6 other key currencies, namely the euro, the Japanese dollar, the Great Britain dollar, the Canadian dollar, Swedish dollar, and I'm not sure what the SE one is. But anyways, the point is they gained. At the session on 3rd of December, the DXY, which is a dollar index, continued to hold at a high level of 96.15 points. At the beginning of 2021, this index was now only at 90.535 points. Now, it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that is a major deal. Normally, a stronger US dollar leads to devaluation of currencies of other countries, especially the developing countries. Yep, this is what I'm talking about. What happens when those developing countries instead don't devalue against the US dollar and it goes in the opposite direction? This is, however, the Vietnam dong is one of the few currencies in the region that has appreciated against the US dollar since the beginning of the year, which is a rare case in the foreign exchange market. Yeah, it is a rare case. But here's the thing, things are changing. Since 2001, the Vietnam dong has always depreciated against the US dollar in nominal terms. Well, it was also manipulated. Come on, let's be realistic. Just like China, they like their currencies really devalued so they can compete when it comes to product building and exporting against other countries. Averaging about 2.5% per year, they're talking about the depreciation rate. By 2020, something unexpected happened when the Vietnam dong increased slightly by 0.2% against the US dollar. Well, a couple things. We were on lockdown, and Vietnam did phenomenal during the lockdown. So that shouldn't be surprising. In the first half of 2021, the exchange rate stabilized. So instead, you would get 23,000 Vietnam dong to 23,100 Vietnam dong for every US dollar. But in the second half of the year, the US exchange rate continued to follow a downtrend, meaning that the Vietnam dong showed increase. In a recent interview with the head of the foreign exchange at Capital Markets and Security Services at HSBC, commented in the last 5 months of this year, as of November 2021, the Vietnam dong has appreciated by 2%. So we're talking about 5 months, it's up 2% against the US dollar. The US VND exchange rate on the index bank market has fallen sharply twice to 22,750 per US dollar in August and to 22,650 Vietnam dong per US dollar in early November. So what you're seeing is we want that 22,000 number to continue to shrink. Now, it didn't shrink by much. It went from 22,750 down to 22,650. It's about 100 Vietnam dong, which isn't worth squattily. But you know that saying, what's that? The something about doing something in long distance. You got to take that first step. You guys will correct me. I guarantee it. Down in the comments. You know what I mean? The road to 1,000 miles is the first step. Well, look, as long as it starts and continues a trend, then that's what you want. So that says that was in November. That's when they kind of went on the first. That's when they were, I think, the third time, the currency manipulation report. This corresponds to the State Bank of Vietnam twice lowering the buying price of the US dollar. This is also the lowest exchange rate in the last 5 years, you guys. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but the fact that it's been 5 years since it's gotten this low is a great first step. The most plausible reason for the Vietnam dong to appreciate is that the demand for foreign currency is not large enough. while the supply of foreign currency is quite abundant. So in October 2021, the trade balance reserved from trade deficit to trade surplus. Remember, that's when they got on the report again. By the end of November, the data from the General Department of Customs showed that the total export value was estimated at $299.67 billion. It was up 17.5%. And the total import value was estimated at $299.45 billion. And that was up 27.5%. According to the balance of trade in goods in the last 11 months, it is estimated at a surplus of $225 million. Again, it's not a lot. At the same time, the foreign direct investment capital registered in Vietnam as of November 2021 included newly registered capital, adjusted registered capital, and the value of capital contributions and shares purchased by investors. So, remember I was talking about when I used to talk about Vietnam all the time, I started paying attention to what's going on in the market, and you can see there's a group of specific stocks you really want to jump on because they seem to be doing very good. While that trend has continued. It says foreign investors amounts reached 26.46 billion, up 0.1% over the same time period last year. While the realized FDI capital in the last 11 months is estimated to be 17.1 billion. Yikes, that's huge. So what we're seeing is Vietnam flourished, but I couldn't help but notice magically somehow in 2021, Vietnam got hit pretty hard by the RONA, magically, which kind of balanced things out just a little bit because with Trump's trade war with China, a lot of companies moved over to Vietnam. And even when the RONA hit, there still was a lot of great things going on. Now, there was a downside in 2021, but not enough to make that big of a dent. The Vietnam dong still gained against the US dollar. Remember, the US does everything it can to be the strongest currency out there, especially as the reserve dollar. Well, why is that important? Well, it's real simple. The United States imports more goods than anybody else. You see, we love taking our companies, starting them off here, giving them that great USA name, only for them to tell us to screw off, take their business elsewhere, make their products cheaper overseas, and then turn around and sell it back to the Americans at a huge markup, basically selling us out. That's what Trump was fixing. You can see right here, it says this year Vietnam received a substantial flow of remittances. According to the State Bank of Vietnam branch in Ho Chi Minh City, the amount of remittances in the city in the last 11 months is estimated to be 6.2 billion. And for the whole year, this is estimated from 6.5 to about 6.6 billion. On a national scale, the World Bank and the International Cooperation Organization on Migrants forecasted that the amount of remittances to Vietnam in 2021 will be somewhere around 18.1 billion, ranking 8th in the world and 3rd in the Asian Pacific region. At the same time, the value of Vietnam's foreign exchange reserves was reported by BIDV Securities Joint Stocks Commissions, or Joint Stock Company, have reached 105 billion. This is a record high level of foreign exchange reserves in Vietnam. The more reserves they get, the stronger their currency. And this trend is likely to continue through 2022 as the United States continues to try to be smashed down by those people who are currently in the White House in control of our governments, selling us out to socialism, trying to do what they can to keep the cities on lockdown, keeping people from going to work. We're going to continue to see other countries gain on us. That's what I'm trying to tell you. According to the strong trend of the Vietnamese dong against the US dollar will continue to be maintained for the rest of 2021. Of course it will. According to expert forecasts, the rate will increase slightly to 22,900 in the fourth quarter of 2021. So they'll have us believe, the IMF and the World Bank, that the United States still has a strong dollar. The greenback is the strong dollar. How is this possible when they've made so many of them? But we do know they sent a lot of the dollars to be used in other countries and keeping their currencies down. The more our dollars are being used, it'll continue to be stronger. But as countries like India and China and Russia stop using the US dollars, well, it won't take long for other countries to do the same, and we will see the value of the dollar die, allowing other currencies to rise up against it. So for now, as it seems, in 2021, the Vietnam Dong has gained a little bit. The expectation is it will continue through the year 2022. The numbers don't reflect what they're saying, which is weird. So there you have it, you guys. It just depends on what happens with each country. I told you there are a lot of factors taken into consideration when determining the exchange rates. The US dollar is strong because it's used and in demand everywhere. I did a report earlier saying that the Iraqi dinar was dying. Why? Well, people didn't trust the dinar and they wanted more US dollars. That's what you don't want if you're an investor into these currencies. Anyways, there you go, people. Vietnam, over the last 11 months, has gained some amount against the US dollar. And I know you unappreciative people out there going, oh man, it's not that big of a deal. Man, it's not that big of a deal. Yes, it is. You just seen the report say that's the first time in 5 years. That's what I thought was impressive. And in my opinion, you're going to continue to see that trend happen. So whether we get an RI or an RV, that's okay. I'm not saying it won't happen, but what I'm saying is there are other factors that play into what is going on with the exchange rate, all right? Anyways, I thought I would share that with you. That's it for now. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. Keep your fingers crossed. Let's keep this rolling, and I'll catch you later. I'm out.